First off, just kind of tell me about how's your preseason going? How excited are you to get your season kicked off this week?
I'm very, very excited. Honestly, I think like I've just been through so much like the last year. And when I redshirted last year and took like a leave of absence and had to take away like a big step away from gymnastics, I wasn't really sure what it was going to be like coming back, like if I was going to be able to come back fully. And when I first started training again, it was very slow progress. Like everything was so hard. I could like barely do a static cast handstand. I mean, if you ask my coaches, they would tell you like I was very weak and like it was definitely a rough start coming back. Like I basically had to like not relearn everything because my muscle memory was there, but like get my body back to, doing full collegiate gymnastics.
Yeah.
And I think I like just worked really hard with like my coaches and strength training trainers over the summer, um, which is like when I started doing gymnastics again. And the preseason has been going really well. I think what's exciting for me is I've been like on a slow like up project like trajectory since like coming back, and the last few months have been really good. And I'm just like so excited because since coming back from my red shirt and my leave of absence, my break from gymnastics to like take care of myself, I genuinely feel like better than I have ever felt. Like in gymnastics, just having like the consistency and stability in my life, like has been amazing, not only for like life outside of gymnastics, but in gymnastics, I feel like stronger, healthier, happier, I have more energy. Um, it's just so, yeah. Anyway, preseason has been going really well, and I'm very excited for the first competition. Obviously, I don't know lineups yet or what I'm going to be competing, but I'm training all four. And even if I don't start off competing all four, I think hopefully by the end of the season, I will be competing all four because I feel like I definitely have a good amount of potential in all four events. So, very excited about that.
Well, I saw some videos from your guys' like preview meet and
Yeah.
I'm excited. I know everyone's so excited for your floor routine and just
Yeah.
everything you're doing. So very, very excited to see you out there. It's going to be a great.
Thank you.
But tell me about if you could t go back to last year a little bit. If you could tell me
Mhm.
about just kind of the decision to redshirt and kind of what you were able to maybe learn about yourself and that year off.
Yeah, I think the decision to redshirt, it kind of came like as a shock to everybody in my life, honestly. I know it came as a shock to my coaches for sure because they were kind of like unaware of what was going on with me. Um, so I think also it kind of came as a shock to myself a little bit just because I feel like I'd been pushing through something that was like really hurting me for so long. Um, and I felt like I was like, I was able to push through it and, still have a good career in gymnastics, so won the Olympics and everything like that. But I think when I got to college, my main decision of why I decided to do that was because I felt like I was enjoying life in terms of academics were going well, school was going well, like I was doing okay in gym, but I think um my mental health and my eating disorder were taking over, like my enjoyment of everything, no matter what I was doing, it was really tainting my love for the sport. And I feel like it was just hurting me in a lot of different ways. And so instead of like continuing to push through, I think like for me, I felt the only real like option was for me to like take a complete step away from everything and just solely focus on myself and focus on getting like treatment and everything that I needed in order to be more successful, like coming back. Because I felt that everything was tainted by my eating disorder, and I thought that if I were to continue along that path, I would be able to continue doing the things I was doing, but I wouldn't be able to excel in what I was doing. And I thought that it was better for me to just completely take a step away from everything and just focus on one thing and make sure that that was really solid so that I could come back and really perform to my best. And I think it was like absolutely the best decision like I've made. Like one of my best decisions for sure, because it was definitely really heartbreaking, like taking a step away from everything that I loved in life. And like I took a very big step away. Like I wasn't exercising for probably at least 5 months, like not even doing anything. I was just focused on treatment and um just taking my time and really like it's a long process recovering from like an eating disorder, and it takes a lot of mental work. And
Yeah.
honestly, it takes, you know, some time for your body to heal as well from everything. So I think like it did take a lot longer than I expected. When I went into treatment, I was like, okay, I'm gonna be in treatment for like a month. I'm gonna come back and it's gonna be like nothing happened. So it was not really the case. Like it took a long time for, me to heal myself and for me to really make sure I was in the right place to come back. But I really am happy that I made that decision because it has genuinely changed my life so, so much in ways that I could not have imagined. And I just feel like I'm in such a better place now, mentally, emotionally, physically, spiritually, just everything. So, um, yeah, I definitely was like very heartbreaking for me. And I think it surprised my whole team, my parents, my coaches, and nobody really knew that I was struggling so much. And so I think like for them, they just wanted to support me because I think it got to a point where like I just like I need to take this time because I do want to have a successful collegiate career. I do want to enjoy my college years, like, and this is really taking away from that. So I need to address it now because if I address it now, I can go on my next 4 years now and really like have those experiences that I want to the fullest. Um, and so, yeah, going on my leave was difficult. Um, and it really did serve as like a break from absolutely everything. And then I had to come back. Like there were a lot of progressions in my comeback, like 5 months of absolutely nothing. And then I started coming back and just doing like strength training, like once a week, and then it was twice a week, and then it was 3 times a week, and then I started adding like a few more, like it was like at first like only like 20 minutes, and then it was 30 minutes, and then it was more like there were literally so many progressions. And then I think I first started actually training like maybe very late spring. That's like the first time I set foot in the gym. Um, and then even then it was like only like you're capping you at an hour, and then it was like slowly like building my way back up. And I think like the progression that my whole treatment team as well as my coaches and medical staff at Stanford like set out for me in order to really fully get myself back into the gym, back integrate back with the team, and also just like make sure that everything was going well was really, really well rounded because like looking at all the progression that led me to where I am now and like how stable and happy and like well gymnastics is going, they really were able to like make sure that I got back into everything and even feel somehow like better now than I did before from like an actual gymnastic standpoint, which I didn't think was going to be possible yet. Like it really is crazy to me. Like I'm doing some of my elite skills now that I was doing in the past, and it's like it's easier than it was before. And I was like, this is crazy. Like who knew? But yeah.
Oh my, well, your story is so inspiring. It's inspired me. I'm sure it's inspired so many athletes and gymnasts around the world. Who were you kind of able to, if there was anyone to turn to, how did you
Yeah.
kind of find the courage to be able to, speak out on such an important topic in gymnastics?
Yeah. I think speaking out about this was something and still is something that I get nervous about just because honestly, I did carry and still carry like some shame about it. Like it's not really fun to tell people. Like everybody now it's out there. Like if you look up my name, unfortunately, that's like something that comes up and like it's very public. People know about it. And that's like something I feel like a very vulnerable part of myself that I decided to share with the public that I feel like was difficult for me to let out just because I think the reason that I decided to share that is because I know a lot of gymnasts and a lot of athletes in aesthetic-based sports who do struggle with it. And I think for me, part of what helped me in my treatment was reducing my shame about it and being a little bit more open, um, and kind of normalizing the ability to get help if you need it and to approach like nutrition and physique and your body as something like for me it was hard to separate my body from the sport. And I think maybe other athletes, not everybody, but some, especially in athletic-based sports, it's often like communicated as being intertwined, which and yes, your body is like what is making you do the sport, but I think there is a difference sometimes between like an aesthetic and like your actual performance. And I think um for me, like sharing my story, I would hope inspires others who are struggling to get help and also just to bring more awareness to any issues there are with body dysmorphia or eating disorders or other mental health concerns that people have in sports, especially in elite sports and Olympic level sports where people are pushing themselves like to their max. And doing things to, to their body to achieve these really high level positions. Um, and I think for me, just bringing more like education, more research to how to best create programs and coaching and support around athletes to make sure that they're both like achieving this excellence, but also making sure that they're taking care of themselves and receiving support along the way was really important to me. Um, but yeah, telling my story was definitely really nerve-wracking. And I think I went to my parents mostly, I would say, about sharing my story just because I think they were really there for me when everything, like my whole family, when everything was going array. And I just kind of talked to them because I wasn't really sure, if I just like what said I was like redshirting and just like disappeared off the face of the earth, like if people were probably going to be asking questions about like what happened and where I went. And I think instead of like continuing to kind of, I don't want to say like lie, but just like not completely like come forward with the truth, I thought it would be like really freeing for me um to just like come forward and be honest. And I'm really happy I did because I've received like many, many messages. One of just support from so many people, and two of people who specifically texted me or DM'd me and were like, "Hey, I just want to let you know that like I either really struggled with this in the past, and I wish I had someone like you who came forward and gave me like the strength to go into treatment, or I'm really struggling with this right now, and you gave me like the motivation to go tell, blah, 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 and now I'm getting the help that I need. And like, I just want to thank you because it's like really impacted my ability to come forward. And you gave me the bravery to do XYZ. So I think like that alone makes me really happy because if my like story just like can inspire a few people to, get help and take care of themselves, like for me, I know how much it's impacted my life to recover and be like so much happier. So if other people can do the same, like I want to do that for them. And, you know, because like, yeah, I also think it's important for people to like realize like you can talk about that and it's not your whole identity. Like me having an eating disorder in the past and struggling with that, like is something I've dealt with, but it's also separate of who I am. And I'm able to have that struggle and then go out and achieve things having recovered and see that that's also possible. And that, yes, this is something that happened in my past, but it's not my identity. It's not who I am. Like, first and foremost. Like, I'm a gymnast, I'm a person. I'm here at Stanford enjoying academics. Like, I do, I don't know, goofy social media. Like, it's it's not all of who I am, but it is like part of what has happened to me in the past and part of a part of my story. And I want to be able to share that story with others in order to hopefully motivate or inspire them to get help.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you got Ian Gunther like doing surfing on it,
Yes.
and like, but I feel like ever since Simone and Tokyo in 2021,
Hmm.
mental health has been like a more prevalent topic in gym,
Yeah.
just so important, and you see more and more athletes just being open about it, talking about
Yeah.
it. So what's that kind of been like for you to just see that more gymnasts across the country and across the world are open about their mental health as well?
I think it's really important for athletes across the globe to like go like share their stories. And I think that it one like Simone's sharing her story about having like mental block and mental health, um, definitely think was huge because it opened the door for others to also share their stories and shows that you can literally be the most amazing, best gymnast, like one of the best athletes in the world of all time, and still have these struggles and still like be an amazing athlete, and that you can do the work to overcome those things. Not that you're not going to still like have issues come up, but that you can like get help and be supported in order to achieve greatness regardless of those struggles is something that's like really important to me and definitely inspired me to be able to share my story too, because I think it would have been harder if there weren't any role models to look up to be like, that is okay. It is okay to share your story. Like, you have to go out there and say every single detail and like spill, everything to the public. No, but like sharing bits and pieces of your stories to help others and being honest about that in order to allow there to be more support. Even like there was more research after Simone Biles like shared her stories into mental blocks and mental health and like anxiety and all of that. So I think that sharing those things just allows there to be more support and more I guess community, and for people to stop kind of I guess stereotyping gymnasts or mental health in sports, and for it to become more of an issue that is talked about so that, like, USAG or different like programs and teams can better support their athletes. And I feel like they have been doing a really good job at like jumping to help support the athletes because I think it is really important that, I mean, the athletes are the ones who are doing the sport, who are putting their bodies and the minds through a lot of different stress in a lot of different ways, especially in a sport like gymnastics. Um, and so it's vital that with that, there comes also the additional like support from other professionals that have research-based approaches to dealing like with these things that come up just in any human being, let alone like someone who's performing in high pressure situations with millions of people watching them and a bunch of expectations placed on their shoulders. Like that's a lot on a person like someone. So like in reality, like everybody's just a human being. And, I think it's great to be able to support people, um, regardless of like what they're going through. So yeah.
Let's transition to the gymnastics now. So, um, some athletes have great toe point, but yours is kind of like next level. Like they should like get the Levi or something. Like, so kind of tell me about like, is that just so natural for you just to be able to do that?
Yeah, I would say my toe point definitely comes up a lot. It comes up in like all my comments, and like everybody on the gym internet is always like her toe point. Like I'm pretty sure I've like won like a toe point award at some point. I don't know, but I think for me, I always joke that like it's funny because my mom was a ballerina and like boarded in Stuttgart, and like she was a pretty good ballerina, but I actually get my toe point, I think, from my dad, which is like ironic because he did like football and whatever. So like he definitely didn't need a toe point. And so my mom always gets mad because she's like, I wish I had that toe point in ballet. Like I'm flat-footed, like blah 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 blah. But like I guess like sometimes I joke around and I'm like, yeah, I worked really hard for it. Like when I was young, I was doing all these stretches and like, I was always using like that ballet toe stretcher and like I worked so hard for it. But in reality, I think it's just like naturally genetically the way that my toes, like my foot is built. Although I feel like I do like pride myself in form. So I do like I think if I never, paid attention to it, maybe my arch wouldn't be as good as it is now. But I feel like because it's important to me, then I would just like make sure that I really am like squeeze my feet. Because also my coaches always tell me like Levi, you have the most gorgeous toes. You have beautiful like lines and legs, and you have beautiful toes, and your feet always look great. So if they aren't pointed, it's very, very obvious. So you better point your toes. Otherwise, it's gonna be very obvious if you flex your feet. So now I'm kind of stuck, like having to point
Yeah.
my feet because if they're not pointed all the way, like it's very, very noticeable.
Oh, I never thought about it like that. That's
Yeah.
um I know another big thing for you, like you've always loved the choreography process on floor.
hmm
So kind of take me through, this is your first floor routine with that Stanford staff. So how's it like choreographing with them?
It's amazing. I mean, I love Hallie. She does all of our choreography at Stanford. I think for me, I think she would agree. I kind of like to take like a little bit more ownership over my choreography, um, and music. So I picked my floor music. I actually was thinking about doing the floor music I have now for my elite routine. Um, Anna Lukin actually picked out this floor music for me, and we just couldn't find like a cut without the vocals in it. Like because it comes from like an actual song called like blah 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 cha cha cha, and there are like vocals in it. But Stanford was able to find like a cut somewhere that didn't have vocal, or like somehow figure out how to like take away the vocals. So I decided to do it for college. And Ali did like most of the choreography, and then I think like I just went back and like tweaked it or like put in parts that I thought like more were in line with like how I typically dance or how I move. Um, I love doing choreography. I also like sometimes like over the breaks, like winter or Thanksgiving break, I'll like go home. I'll just work on my dance like when I get bored and then like I come back and I'm like, Hallie, I have a few ideas. Like, you've been saying no, but I kind of want to add like this part. It's like now there's like a new part of my floor routine where I kind of like, oh, you guys will see it soon. I kind of like hit myself in the head and like fall to the ground. And we were like trying to figure out how to like work that in. And then I wanted to add like a leg kick that I did in, I forget when it was, but it was like probably a secret classic like years ago when I was little doing like, I think it was Carmen was my floor routine at that time. So I wanted to add that in. And then obviously just like working on kind of playing with my facial expressions, especially because it is college and I don't need as much energy as I did in Elite for my floor routine. And this floor routine is a little bit more, I would say like salsa, like a little bit more fun than my typical like serious ones in Elite. So I'm very excited. I mean, I love performing. We always do like dancers in college. We do a little like there's like in our team we have this thing called cardinal versus tree. So basically like every year our coaches split us up into two like randomized teams, and one of them is called cardinal and one of them is called tree. And like throughout the whole year we will do like competitions between one another to like gain points, and the competitions can be anything from like who can like stick the most back to pucks like in this random thing, who can like get the highest like overall like scores at you know this game day, or they could be like who can do the best like rap battle. And like we're gonna have these people judge you, and whoever wins gets like X amount of points. Like there's so many different funny challenges. Um, but we do a lot of challenges where it's like who can, do the best like floor routine dance, and then we have like, our alumni judge us or something and pick, and then they'll always have me go for dance. But I love it. Like I love performing in front of a crowd. I love doing artistry. It's always been something that I've been passionate about. And I don't know, like I think starting to take more ownership over doing like some of my own choreography, like sometimes makes me like want to like possibly do other people's choreography like in the future because I'm not as talented as Hallie, but I definitely enjoy like expressing myself through dance.
Yeah, that was my next question. Have you ever choreographed for anyone, or is that something you'd want to do?
I haven't, and it is something I would love to do. I
Yeah.
think I definitely need to like try it first before, or maybe even try choreographing like a routine fully myself
Mhm.
to see. But I think I was actually just thinking about this more recently that I was like, I really do like choreographing. I have a whole playlist of like thousands of like floor routine songs. And, when I can't fall asleep at night, I literally just play floor music and imagine like different choreography. And it helps me like go to sleep. So I have this like probably like 5 hour playlist at this point with like a bunch of different songs. So like keeping them just in case I would ever want to like do choreography, like, as I'm transitioning into a career. But yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna see you in like 10 or 15 years as like some college
Yeah.
choreographer or something.
Wait, I'd be so happy to do that.
So you mentioned elite gymnastics and how you
Yeah.
be gaining some skills. Is that something you would ever want to go back to in the future? Is like another Olympics on your mind?
Yeah. So I haven't started officially training elite yet, but I've had some conversations with my coaches, and it is something that I would really like to go back to. I think right now I'm looking at Asian Championships.
Yeah.
Um, and obviously, like the ultimate goal is 2028, especially because it's in LA where I was born. And I love the last Olympics. I want to do it again. And I think also I want to do it again because I'm in a better place now, like mentally. And I think like going through that experience again, I feel like I have more confidence in not only like my ability to enjoy the experience more, but also my ability to like do better. And also hopefully without an anaphylactic treatment allergy happening a week before my competition. But um I definitely do want to do elite, and I think my coaches are very like supportive. Um, Obviously first and foremost, I'm focusing on this season in college, and like that's what I'm here to do. So I'm definitely focused on that first. But aside from that, I am hoping to start training elite again, and I do want to do 2028, and hopefully you'll see me at Asian Championships. So
Well, how were you what was that Olympics experience like? Because I know you kind of had a lot to persevere, but it's also the Olympics, so I'm sure you're having a great time. But what was it
yeah,
like?
it was incredible. I mean, I think it now does feel real. For a while, I was like, it's surreal. I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I qualified. Like, what? Because it was just like when I was little, I think I was always like, yeah, I'm gonna go to the Olympics. And then as I got older, I was like, this is really hard to get to. It gets really, 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 really hard to get to the Olympics. So you can be like really good and just have like bad luck, or you can have like one injury happen, or you can just have like a bad day at an important competition. Like there's just so many things like go into it, and the amount of like work, like training 36 hours a week, doing PT, doing like sports psych, doing like focusing on nutrition, you're drinking water, getting sleep, like not going out socially, like getting your rest, all those things, additional strength training, like doing absolutely everything you can to get there, and you can still not even be close. So like I think once I realized that, I kind of started like doubting my ability to get there, especially like the exact date, a year before I qualified to the Olympics, I had bilateral heel surgery. And like a year later, on the exact day, is when I actually qualified the Olympics, which I was like, I didn't think I was going to be able to like come back from that so soon, to the Olympics. So, but I think for me, going and to the World Cup series was pretty incredible. I met so many different athletes. Like I met Anna and I met Jennifer, who are both at Stanford now. I was always looking at Jennifer and I was like, dang, she's really good. Like, she's my competitor. Like, I gotta beat her, and now we're on the same team. And like I hosted Anna when she came to Stanford, and I think I sold her because on coming to Stanford because she really liked my mattress topper and thought my bed was comfy or something, which we always joke about now too. Um, but like I had breakfast with Anna before she competed for floor finals at the Olympics. Like I think I my main thing that I enjoyed was honestly the people, the environment, and like everybody was like just insane because they were all so focused on like one thing and performing that one thing to the absolute highest level in absolutely every way. And honestly, it kind of reminded me of like, I guess like Stanford, if Stanford was only athletes and everybody was like just like insane. But I feel like at Stanford too, it has like a similar thing that I like about it where everybody's like pursuing excellence in their own way, in their own unique fields. And I think like seeing different athletes like perform in their own field, and I know that they're there because they're the best of the best in their country and in the world, like made me excited to be there. It made me excited to perform. It made me excited to be in front of a crowd and like really just like hits you deep in your soul. And you're like, yeah, like I want to be here. Like I love this. Like I'm so grateful. Like my hard work that I've done the last like 17 years of my life is to get me here. And I'm so grateful to be here. And then again, it makes me want to do it again because it was pretty amazing. And like, it's just like an experience like no other. It's hard to describe, but it was amazing. And yeah, I loved it.
I know Team Philippines with Emma and Aaliyah at Worlds, and they had a great team there this year.
Yeah,
Man, you guys make a run for having a full team in LA. That would
I
be amazing.
know. I would love it if we have a full team. Like, I feel like there's a lot of talent in the Philippines and Philippine gymnastics. I mean, I was just there over the summer hosting some clinics with the younger athletes, like trying to give them more access to resources and education and coaching, especially from like the younger ages because they have a lot of talent there. And like, Filipinos are kind of the perfect like I don't know, group for gymnastics. Like they're short, they're powerful. Like that's
Yeah,
what Filipinos are.
big.
I mean, I didn't get the short gene, but like, yeah, I think there's so much talent in the Philippines. Obviously, Carlos, like with two golds, and his younger brother, and then there's a lot of good male gymnasts there as well. But hopefully, in 2028, we could qualify a team because I think we're pretty close, and we have like another person. Um, I feel like we could definitely do it. And I don't know, I think also everybody in the Philippines is obviously like, the entire like support system there and from fans and everybody is just like ride or die and I absolutely love it. So
I was at Worlds this year, and I was like, Aaliyah, Emma, like, is this it? Are you guys going for LA? Like, what's the
yeah,
schedule like? It would be so cool to see you guys all back together.
I know. I'm very curious to see I mean I text like Aaliyah sometimes. We just saw it when I was in the Philippines, like I saw her and we were like talking and chatting, but she's like literally like a second mom. She's genuinely one of the sweetest people that I know. And at the Olympics, she was like taking me under her wing and like giving me all the support. I mean, she was like literally there when I had my anaphylactic tree nut allergy and like scooped me and was like, we're getting like to the hospital now. Like she like people were there's these little like carts that would take you around the Olympic Village, and we like got in one. She was like, "Go to the like emergency room now." And like then he started picking up other athletes along the way, and she was like, "No, she's literally dying. Like get her to the hospital now." Like she was amazing, and she was like calling people and like making sure that everybody was like informed. But I love her so much. So
Yes, you mentioned that World Cup, and You just it was such
Mhm.
a competitive like watching that all year in 2024. I almost said last year. I can't believe we're already 2 years removed from that.
I know.
Watching that in 2024, like the bar squad, like everybody going for those spots was so competitive, and it really came down to that last World Cup. And then you just had such a
Yeah.
routine, and you were able to get that spot. What was that feeling like? You stuck your full twisting double back, and then you made it to the Olympics. Like, what was that like?
I was very, it was just like a crazy day just because I think going into the World Cup series, I did not realize like how competitive that bar lineup was going to be. And like you had to like hit and you only drop one score. And then I also was training my like new bar routine. I was training a new connection. I was the first time I competed that new connection. I think a few new connections actually. So like I was like, you know what? I have literally nothing to lose. Like I might as well like go for it and give everything I have. And I was very nervous, but like there was a huge Filipino crowd actually at that competition. Did not know there were so many like Filipinos in Doha, but um they were cheering me on the whole time and like I almost like disassociated during that routine. And I feel like, people talk about like disassociating during like their performances, but I feel like that was like one of the times where I was like really actually just like out of it. Like I was just letting my body do like what it knew how to do. And I had been training like really hard for that last competition, especially with like at Woga with like my coaches, and they were like just making sure I had every opportunity in order to succeed. But I knew it was still going to come down like to a few points, like in order to qualify. So um, I think going into that routine, I was very nervous, and there were a bunch again because there were so many Filipinos in the crowd. They kept like calling at me like during warm ups, and so well, like I had because I needed to focus. I had to like go stand in this like corner, and I just faced the wall. I literally just like put like it probably looked so. I probably looked like a little kid who got in trouble and was like standing in a corner. Like the corner was like yellow or something. I remember just like facing like this yellow wall in a corner and just like centering myself and being like, this is it. Like this is literally if I this routine will either qualify me to the Olympics or not. Like this is it.
Yeah.
Like and I mean there was like Asian championships I think where I could have qualified as well. But like for me it was right there. So I was like, okay, this is my opportunity and like you know what? No matter what, I'm proud of you. Like you made it here. Like just do you. And whatever happens, it's gonna happen. And I finished that routine and I was really happy. And then I got my score and I saw that like where my placement was. And I still like didn't really trust that I qualified. Like I think I texted like 10 different people. I was like, did I? Did I? I don't know. Like I'm really excited, but I don't want to get too excited because what if I just like made a mistake and I didn't qualify? Like and then like finally it was like confirmed. Um and I was just like I was ecstatic. And then I had to go do my drug test, but I was very happy sitting and waiting to do my doping test.
I know it's such
So
a complicated process, like with the points,
yeah,
and who has the most points, and at the end of the series,
yeah,
wait for it to get confirmed by the FIG. I can't imagine you
yeah,
being like, wait, I don't want to post anything yet, just in case or something.
right. I was literally like, I don't, because also I think Valeria and Anna were at, I think they were in Italy doing,
Yes, low, right?
yeah, yeah, in Jeslo. So they were there when I was doing that competition, and I think they were just in a training day or something. And my mom like texted Anna and was like, she made it. And Anna was like, oh yeah, she made her routine. Like, woo, like, yeah, yeah, she made her routine. And then she was like, no, 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 like she made it. And she was like, wait, the Olympics? Like, and then she was like, oh my God. And then she like announced it to all of USA. She was like, Levi qualified. And everyone was like, yay. And it was just like really sweet because I'm still pretty close to like a lot of the people in USAG because they were like amazing. And I sat with a delegation like during finals and like Hesley and them. And literally Hesley, like, oh, she's such an angel, that girl. I love her so much. Shout out Hesley. I love you so much. Like she will always text me like Merry Christmas or like she was like Happy Thanksgiving. Like I'm so grateful for you.
Oh,
Like I literally like appreciate you so much. And like I was like, honestly, like why are you such a doll? Like you're so sweet. She's like, Happy New Year. I miss you so much. I'm like, Hesley, like she is so sweet.
I
But
know. I
yeah,
did a couple interviews with her throughout last year. I was devastated when she got injured right before Worlds. I was like, but
I
so fun to
know.
watch her win nationals and everything, and hopefully a good 2026.
Yes, I'm sure. She's that girl is exceptionally talented and also just humble and an extremely hard worker. So I'm sure she's gonna do amazing things.
Yeah. What was it like to, what was the decision like to transfer from USA to the Philippines? Was it kind of an easy decision for you to make?
Not really, honestly. I think I was pretty it was definitely a hard decision because I was so like attached to everything USAG had done for me, and I really appreciate them. And like I had a lot of honor competing for the US. Um, but I think a huge part of me just really wanted to like explore kind of like my heritage in the Philippines and also like being able to travel to Asia. Like my Lolo, like my grandfather had just passed away and he was from the Philippines and always wanted to like take me there. And so I think like that was a big part of why I decided to make the transition. Um, and I mean, obviously, I'm happy I did because it ended up like working out, qualifying, and I've gotten to meet some exceptional people through the Philippines and go over there and try and like make an impact with the POC and PSC. So, um, I'm really grateful like for the opportunity to get to compete for the Philippines and also just to see how like much gymnastics is growing because
Yeah.
when I went and visited after the Olympics, like we went and visited the president and he told us that the president of Malaysia and him had been like in communication and like the president of Malaysia told the president of the Philippines that his daughter woke him up at like 3 a.m. or something to watch us compete because she really wanted to watch like Mia Lee and Emma compete. And that like everybody in the Philippines was up like all hours of the night just like supporting us and cheering us on. And he was like, you've made such an impact. And now we've been like our gymnastics signups in like high school has been insane and we're getting like an overflow of people now joining gymnastics because of you guys. So like I'm so happy that you did that and like we're so happy that you competed for the Philippines and I was like, I'm so happy that like I'm grateful to even get the opportunity to compete for the Philippines. So
Yeah.
yeah, but that definitely like made me smile and really like hit deep in my heart because I was like, but yeah.
Yeah, it's so cool to see like with you three and then with Carlos being successful, like everything with
Hmm.
gymnastics in the Philippines, and then having Junior Worlds there too was really awesome to see.
Yeah.
So it's been really awesome to watch that. But as you look ahead to the NCAA season, do you have any kind of goals you want to achieve this year?
I think obviously as a team, like I would love obviously the main goal, like win NCAAs, like that would be the main goal. I think we have a really compelling team this year. We have a lot of talent, a lot of hard workers, and like, our words this year, like fierceness, grit, um, and like authenticity. So I think like for us to embody that as a team is like going to be really important for us to like be successful this year. For me, obviously, I just want to contribute to the team any way that I can and do like what the coaches, think is best for me to do in order to do that. But obviously, by at least like postseason, I want to be competing all four. We want to be putting up some pretty high scores. I would love to get a 10 this year.
Mhm.
Um, what else? I think just like for me, I've always been more of like very hard on myself in the gym. And I like feel like I pride myself on working pretty hard in the gym. And then like the actual results that occur from that, I feel like are more like I feel like sometimes like out of my control in terms of, like I'm just gonna do everything I can in the gym and in my life. And then whatever the results are outside of that is like what it's gonna be. But obviously, like I have some pretty high like expectations, I would say, of myself. I really do want to be putting up some high scores and be like a big like contributor to the team and be competing all around consistency and consistently by like mid end of the year. So and I think like that's definitely very like possible for me. And then, do maybe I would also hope to be like all American or something. Like that would be pretty great too. But yeah, I'm very excited to compete. It's very different than elite, I will say. Like the type of pressure before was definitely very individual. Now it's very like you're doing it not for yourself, but also for your team and like for everybody who's supporting you on the team. But I think one is a different type of pressure, but it's also a different type of support where you know that like you can have a mistake and your teammates got your back, but also you want to do good so that they know you have their back too. So I'm very excited to see what it's like to actually go out on the competition floor and like start getting used to just the way that collegiate meets are run because this is technically like my first year doing it. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, well, kind of my last question here, but you throughout social media, you just seem like you and your teammates are having so much fun together, like on the daily. What can you kind of say
Yes.
about them and maybe just about like living that normal college life too?
Yeah. I mean, living my normal college life is definitely like amazing. Stanford is such an exceptional place. Like everywhere that I go is insanely beautiful. There's amazing study rooms, the professors, the classes. Like I'm so happy that I'm at Stanford. Literally wouldn't have like chosen anything different. It's not only setting me up for like this next 4 years, but like the rest of my life. And I feel like that's like a decision that I'm so happy that I made because the resources here are unmatched. Like it's everybody, like I look to my left and my right, and there's people like synthesizing antibiotics and creating new startups and selling their AI, whatever startups for like billions of dollars. I'm like, okay. But everybody here is amazing.
Or people going to
Um, if people go, what?
or people going to the
Yeah, that's true.
Olympics?
I mean, I was just in my dorm the other day, and I go into the bathroom and I'm in my little towel, and then I see another like woman like walk out of the shower. She has an Olympic tattoo, and I'm like, I have one too. Did you go to the Olympics? And she's like, yeah, I went to the Olympics in rowing in Australia. And like, like last year I lived like a few doors away from like another like Olympian in synchro who won silver at the Olympics. So I was like,
Oh my God.
honestly, being an Olympian is not that big of a deal here. I feel like everybody's like doing something. But yeah, I would say that like I'm having a lot of fun with my team. I think I'm working with Ian Gunter actually. That's why you see him in a lot of like the videos, but he has a company called Haymaker that helps like athletes, I guess, like with posting schedule and like content ideas as well as like editing content because it takes up a lot of time to edit and post content,
Yeah,
especially when you're in college. So he's like helping me with that. We're definitely, I think, not only like through him, but I think just Stanford Gymnastics in general is trying to like improve socials in order to like give more opportunity for NIL opportunities
yeah,
for the gymnasts. And I think like I'm trying to like work closely with Ian as well as like the athletic department in order to start building our NIL department just because I feel like it's important for a lot of different things. It's important for recruiting, it's important for this current student athletes, important for like the future and like
right.
just branding of Stanford Athletics. So we're trying to like kind of develop that just because it is a new space and like Stanford's like pretty ahead in a lot of different areas, but I think this is like definitely a space that like we could work on. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's pretty exciting like doing content with my team
yeah,
and like really excited about like all the opportunities with Haymaker. I'm thinking about doing like a little like YouTube series of like vlogging the season, maybe. We'll see if I have time to edit that
yeah. If you
stuff.
have time
But
for that, I know that would be
yeah,
popular. People love stuff like that. That would be
yeah,
fun.
they do.
Yeah,
Yeah, so definitely exciting. I mean, I think I our team is very, very, very close. Like super close. I think in general, from what I've seen, like going on other officials, like Stanford was definitely like someone like one of the closest teams. Like we are always together.
Yeah.
Um, and I feel like we genuinely actually like each other. Like, I know this sounds bad, but like, I feel like we actually really do like
Yeah.
each other. Um, and it's been fun doing some of like the Haymaker stuff. Like, I know I have a lot of different content stuff coming out that you guys will see that's in, the works right now. But also I feel like we have a really like interesting like dynamic in our team in terms of like our actual gymnastics. Like I think when I watch our gymnastics, we have very beautiful gymnastics. Like we have a lot of elites on our team. We have Uwe, training elite, Jamie, like Jennifer, Alana, me, like I don't know about Anna, but
So many
she's,
different classes.
still throwing some of her elite skills sometimes and it looks
Yeah.
easy for her. So
Yeah.
um and I feel like also just everybody on the team like looks really good this year and I'm really excited. I think we also have a lot of young talent on the team too. Um, but our seniors also are really good at like kind of paving the way for us. And like, Anna is obviously incredible gymnast and college gymnast. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like I also just love like spending time. After this call, I'm gonna go do math with Anna at a coffee shop. So or she's gonna come here. Actually, I don't know when she'll show up, but I think she had a meeting with us. But we always do, we like always joke that Wednesday is our like math study date because we're taking two classes together this quarter, but we always like we'll try new coffee shops like either on campus or around campus. Um, and we'll just like sit together for like 3 hours and just like do our homework together. Um,
And that's
it's
with
like really
Anna
cute.
Barbosu.
Yeah, on a
Yeah.
on a
She's
purpose too.
like, anytime you post a video with her, the internet like goes crazy. Like, oh my God,
I know.
Barbosu Crumbs, like there she is. Like people are so excited about her being in college gymnastics.
She's gonna be amazing. I will tell you right now, she looks good.
Well,
Yeah,
I really appreciate your time. This was a great call. And yeah, thanks for being so open and so
of
excited to watch
course.
you this year. It's going to be a great year.
Yes. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.